our 8 football championships are hosted here at least every year on an annual basis. This year it'll be the 3A and the 3AA championship, and here to say a few words on behalf of NC State University, I welcome to the microphone head coach of the Wolfpack, Coach Dave Dorn. Coach.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and congratulations to the 16 staffs and teams and administrations and head coaches that are here. And like all of us, I know the journey started last January for all of you, and a special group of young men that you get to coach. I know the journey is something that we all love as coaches, and the memories you have with your young men, whether you win or lose, the things that we get to go through that nobody really understands. And I think that's what makes our profession so incredible. The platform that you have, getting to watch it, you know, not only from inside our locker room, but getting to watch it through the eyes of young men that we recruit. For me personally, getting to watch my son and his team at Cardinal Gibbons and just seeing the chemistry and the camaraderie of all the kids in the country and what you guys do for them, I commend you for it. And I think, you know, the young men in this world that have coaches like you are so lucky. And so I thank you guys for all the work you do, not just with your teams, but with the communities that you come from. The life and the positivity, I'm sure, in your school, in your hallways is at an all-time high right now. And I think that's good. I think that's really good for what's going on. And just want to wish you all nothing but the best. I know there's other staffs here from other schools, and I know we all take great pride in seeing our schools in North Carolina succeed. And I know that hopefully you'll have the weather that you all deserve this weekend to play a good game. It seems like for whatever reason it's always a downpour at state championships. So I hope everything's as good as it can be. I hope your teams stay healthy. You know, and as you get into this, just remember that every single person in that program, from the trainer to the players to the guys that don't play to your stars to your staff, you guys have all done incredible work. Don't forget to enjoy the finish. You know, get out there in that field with those guys in pregame and enjoy it. Get in that locker room and enjoy it. And then just go execute and let those guys play. You know, and let the chips fall where they may and ride the horses that you got. Let those guys do the things that they do. And I think a lot of times I get into watching these games and you see one team that they completely believe in, another team that freezes up a little bit. You know, and you got to let those kids play. Let them have fun playing. Let your staff coach the game the way they're supposed to coach it. You know, and as administration, dealing with all the parents and the fans and all the things that go with that. You know, everybody supporting each other through the finish. And just last thing I'd like to say is, you know, our doors here are always open. You guys know that as high school coaches, as administrators, as ADs. I think Coach Trevathan does as good a job as anybody in the country at making sure that you guys understand that. Please come back and spend time with us. Know that we're here to help you. As a former high school coach, I have nothing but admiration and respect for the jobs that you do, for how much you get paid to what you have to do and how much comes out of that. It's incredible. It says a lot about your dedication and loyalty to a great sport, a sport that, in my opinion, is one of the few sports that still has so many moving parts, that creates adversity for young men and teaches them how to be teammates and how to be selfless. And so I thank you for that and wish you guys nothing but the best. Hope you and your families and your fans and your friends and all those things have safe holiday season and that you guys finish the way that you want to finish. Best wishes and good luck and happy holidays, and go Pack. Thank you guys.
Well, thank you very much, Coach Doran. We appreciate you making the time to be here this morning and say a few words of welcome on behalf of NC State. The Carolina Panthers are a sponsor of this press conference and a partner in our football championships each of the past several years. Most years, Director of Community Relations Riley Fields is here with us to say a few words on behalf of the organization, but unfortunately, due to some previous commitments, he was unable to attend today, but he did send a statement for you all this morning, and I'd like to quote that for you. It's a great regret that we were not able to attend today's NCHSAA State Championship press conference. It is one of our favorite days of the year. We are huge high school football fans and are privileged to be able to support today's event, as well as provide a number of opportunities, experiences, and resources to high school football programs in our region. Congratulations to each of you for your outstanding seasons, which have created lifetime memories for your players. schools, and communities. Enjoy every minute of this week of final preparation. The Carolina Panthers wish you the best of success in this upcoming weekend. And that's from Riley Fields at the Carolina Panthers, and we're very thankful to them for partnering with us to bring you this press conference on championships. Again, this year we continue our partnership with Sinclair Broadcasting Group. For the third year in a row, Sinclair will work with the NCHSAA to televise state championships live and over the air with their affiliates across the state in each local television market. These games will also be streaming over the internet on Sinclair websites and the NCHSAA's partner NFHS Network. A full schedule of over-the-air affiliates and links to the NFHS Network coverage of each championship will be provided a little bit later this week on the association website. There are several other partners here this morning, and we appreciate each of their support in making it happen this weekend, but we want to recognize a special partner of ours first here this morning from the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance, and Mr. Scott Dupree, the Executive Director, is here with him. The City of Raleigh does such a great job providing venues and assistance to the association in having numerous championships from basketball to volleyball and on down the line, soccer, lacrosse. They host a ton of championships for us, and we're very appreciative of what they do. And so this morning we wanted to present Scott Dupree and the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance with an autographed ball signed by all 16 of the state championship head coaches for this weekend. So Scott, if you'll come on up, thank you for what you guys do. So obviously the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance is a great partner for us, and you've heard from Riley Fields and the Carolina Panthers. Summit Hospitality Group also works with us to provide hotels and accommodations for teams that need those as they travel to our championships here in the Wake County area. And we're pleased to welcome Crystal Sears, the area sales manager here in the Raleigh market. I think Crystal is right over here in the back. So if you have hotel needs in the area, please visit with her or her staff, Nidal Alawar, who is here this morning as well. And he'll be coming in as well, so you can visit with one of them to get lined up with your hotel accommodations if you need them here. Also helping secure championships that we'll hold in Durham at Duke University from the Triangle Sports Commission. We're pleased to welcome CEO Hill Caro and Collins Louder from the Triangle Sports Commission. Thank you to you guys for what you guys do to bring the championships to Durham and Duke University. And now, we've said all we need to say to thank all the people who have helped make this happen, and it's time to introduce the state finalist teams and coaches. So coaches, what will happen is we will present you with a football and a pin. So 1A and 2A, you'll be standing on this side here, meeting Commissioner Tucker and Shaquana Dancy and Brad Alford, and then 3A and 4A will be on this side. So if those folks will go ahead and get in place, we'll welcome the teams and coaches. And we'll start with the 1A down on this end. Commissioner Tucker will pose for a picture and present you with your football here this morning. If you're here in support of your head coach and you're on the staff, whether that's a principal, athletic director, or assistant coach, do ask that as your team is called, would you please stand and be recognized as well as we recognize each staff person and each person that's contributing to the program. We begin with the 1A championship. It is scheduled for Saturday at 3 p.m. at Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium on the campus of Duke University. Now I give a warm welcome for the champions of the 1A West, the Robbinsville Black Knights, and head coach Dee Walsh. Robbinsville's 14-0. They're 6-0 as the champions of the Smoky Mountain 1A Conference. The principal is David Matheson. The athletic director is Coach Walsh. The Knights are making their 17th appearance in an NCHSAA football state championship and are looking for their 14th state title. From Robbinsville High School, head coach Dee Walsh. And next, the Black Knights opponents in the 1A final, the champions of the 1A East, the Northampton County Jaguars, and head coach George Privet. Northampton County is 11-3. They're 5-1 as runners-up of the Roanoke 1A Conference. The principal at Northampton is Dr. Noah Rogers. The athletic director is Albert Bennett. Jaguars are making their first appearance all-time in an NCHSAA state championship game, but I will note that prior to Northampton West and East consolidating, Northampton West made an appearance in the state championship in 2005. From Northampton County High School, head coach George Privet. And now we move to the 1AA championship, which is scheduled for Saturday at 7 p.m. also at Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium and Duke University. First, the 1AA Western champions, the East Surrey Cardinals, and head coach Trent Lohman. The Cardinals are 14-0 on the season. They're 5-0 as champions of the Northwest 1A Conference. The principal at East Surrey is Jared Jones. The athletic director is Randy Marion. The Cardinals are appearing in the state championship for the second time in their school history and second year in a row. They're looking for their first state championship. From East Surrey High School, head coach Trent Lohman. Next, the 1AA Eastern champions, the Tarboro Vikings, and head coach Jeff Craddock. The Vikings are 14-0 on the season. They're 6-0 in the Coastal Plains 1A Conference, where they were the champions. The principal at Tarboro is Terry Hopkins. The athletic director is Jamie Willoughby. The Vikings are appearing in the state championship for the 10th time and have won 6 state titles, including 3 in a row at the 2AA level from 2009 to 2011, and the previous 2 1AA state championships. From Tarboro High School, head coach Jeff Craddock. Next, we'll head out west to the 2A championship, which is scheduled for Saturday at 3 p.m. at BB&T Field in Winston-Salem on the campus of Wake Forest University. Now from the 2A West, the Reedsville Rams and head coach Jimmy T. The Rams are 14-1 on the year. They are 4-0 as champions of the Mid-State 2A Conference. The principal at Reedsville is Ms. Ann Mitchell. The athletic director is Joe Walker III. The Rams are in their 24th NCHSAA title game dating back to 1930 and have won 17 state titles and 3 regional championships when play culminated with the regional final between 1961 and 71. From Reedsville High School, head coach Jimmy T. And now for the Rams' opponent, the 2A Eastern champions, the Northeastern Eagles from Elizabeth City, and head coach Antonio Moore. The Eagles are 12-3 on the year. They are 4-1 as the tri-champions of the Coastal or Northeastern Coastal 2A. The principal at Northeastern is Angela Cobb. The athletic director is Duncan Moore. The Eagles are making their 3rd appearance in an NCHSAA title game and are looking for the program's first state championship. From Northeastern High School, please welcome head coach Antonio Moore. And next we move to the 2AA championship, which is scheduled for Saturday morning at 11 a.m. at BB&T Field and Wake Forest University. The champions of the 2A West are the Shelby Golden Lions and head coach Mike Wilbanks. The Golden Lions are 13-1 on the year. They are 6-0 as the champions of the Southwestern 2A Conference. The principal at Shelby is David Allen and the athletic director is Coach Wilbanks. The Lions are appearing in their 16th NCHSAA football state championship game and have 10 state titles to their record. Since record keeping began in 1972, the Golden Lions have won 107 football playoff games, which is more than any other NCHSAA school during that span. From Shelby High School, head coach Mike Wilbanks. And now for Shelby's opponent, the champions of the 2AA East, the Salisbury Hornets, and head coach Brian Henson. The Hornets are 13-2 on the season, 7-2 in the Central Carolina 2A Conference where they were the runners-up. The principal at Salisbury is Luke Brown and the athletic director is Randy Wood. The Hornets are making the school's 4th appearance in the state championship game and have won 3 previous titles, most recently in 2010. From Salisbury High School, head coach Brian Henson. Next, we'll switch over to my right, your left, as we meet the head coaches from the 3A Championship, which is scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. at Carter Finley Stadium on the campus of North Carolina State University. From the champions of the 3AA West, please welcome the Charlotte Catholic Cougars and head coach Mike Brodowitz. The Cougars are 11-3 on the year. They are 6-1 in the Southern Carolina 3A Conference where they were the runners-up. The principal is Kirk Telfer. The athletic director is Kevin Christmas. The Cougars are appearing in a state title game for the 11th time in history and have won 6 of their appearances, including last year over Jacksonville, 17-14 in the 3A title game. From Charlotte Catholic High School, head coach Mike Brodowitz. And now for the Cougars' opponent, the champions of the 3A East and the Southern Nash Firebirds. Please welcome head coach Brian Foster. Coach Foster and the Firebirds are 15-0 on the year. They are 5-0 in the Big East 3A, where they were the champions. The principal at Southern Nash is Hugh Scott. The athletic director is Robbie Kennedy. The Firebirds are making the school's first appearance all-time in an NCHSAA state championship game. From Southern Nash High School, please welcome head coach Brian Foster. Next, we have the 3AA Championship, which is scheduled for Saturday night at 7 p.m. right here at Carter Finley Stadium in NC State University. The 3AA Western champions are the Weddington Warriors, and please welcome head coach Andy Capone. The Warriors are 15-0 on the year, 7-0 as champions in the Southern Carolina 3A Conference. The principal at Weddington is Dr. Jay Jones. Athletic director is Michael Hart. The Warriors are in the state championship game for the 4th time in school history and won 2 championships, including last year's 3AA title over Southeast Guilford. From Weddington High School in Matthews, North Carolina, please welcome head coach Andy Capone. And now for the Warriors' opponent, the champions of the 3AA East, the Lee County Yellow Jackets, and head coach Steve Bordeaux. The Yellow Jackets are 15-0 on the year. They're 5-0 as champions of the Tri-County 6-3A. The principal at Southern Lee is Stephen Ross, and the athletic director is Reggie Peace. The Jackets are making the school's 6th appearance in an NCHSAA state championship game, which dates back to the time the school was known as Sanford Central, but it's their first appearance as Lee County High School. Sanford Central won 3 state titles, the last one in 1973. From Lee County High School, please welcome head coach Steve Bordeaux. Next on to the 4A Championship, which is scheduled for Saturday morning at 11 a.m. at Keenan Stadium and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. First, we have the 4A Western champions, the East Forsyth High School Eagles, and head coach Todd Willard. The Eagles are 12-2 on the year. They are 3-2 in the Central Piedmont 4A Conference. The principal at East Forsyth is Rodney Bass, and the athletic director is Alan Plaster. The Eagles are making their 3rd appearance in an NCHSAA state football championship and have won 2 previous times, including last year's thrilling win in the 4A championship over Scotland County, 35-28. From East Forsyth, head coach Todd Willard. And now for the Eagles' opponent, the 4A Eastern champions, the Cardinal Gibbons Crusaders, and head coach Dr. Stephen Wright. Coach Wright and the Crusaders are 12-2 on the year. They're 5-1 in the Cap 7 4A Conference, where they were the runners-up. The principal at Cardinal Gibbons is Nancy Barkin, and the athletic director is Mr. Todd Schuler. The Crusaders are in the state championship game for the first time in school history. From Cardinal Gibbons High School, please welcome head coach Stephen Wright. One more round of applause for the Crusaders. Next, we move to the 4AA Championship, which is scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. at Keenan Stadium over at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. First, we have the champions of the 4AA West, the Zebulon B. Vance Cougars, and head coach Glenwood Farabee. The Cougars are 12-2 on the year. They are 5-2 in the IMAC 4A. The principal at Vance is Dr. Curtis Carroll, and the athletic director is Carlos Richardson. The Cougars are making their 2nd appearance in the state championship game, and they're back for the 2nd year in a row after a heartbreaking 9-7 loss to Wake Forest in last year's 4AA game. From Vance High School in Charlotte, head coach Glenwood Farabee. And next for the Cougars' opponent, the champions of the 4AA East, the Leesville Road Pride, please welcome head coach Ben Kolstad. The Pride are 13-0 on the year. They are 6-0 as champions of the Cap 7 4A Conference. The principal at Leesville Road is Ian Solomon, and the athletic director is Jack Rogers. the Pride are making the program's first appearance in an NCHSAA state football championship game from Leesville Road High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. Please welcome head coach Ben Kolstad. Let's have one more round of applause for all 16 of our state champions. And now I'd like to introduce a very special person. For 29 years, our next speaker has served the student athletes and members of the NCHSAA with great skill and passion. And it is my pleasure to introduce the Commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, Ms. Q. Tucker.
Thank you, James. Good morning again to everyone, and again, it's great to see you. I'm always just glad to see anybody. When you wake up in the mornings, you want to see somebody, that's a good sign. So it's great to see you. And one thing that we can do is set our calendars for this date, but we can also predict what the weather is going to be. For those of you who've been here the last several years, it's usually rainy, cloudy, or whatever, but it's sunny in here, and that's a good thing. I want to thank you for being here. It's always a sacrifice of time for people who work in our school systems. You've got all of those students back home, and some of you right now trying to figure out, well, wonder what they're doing. Principals are trying to figure out, are the assistant principals doing what they're supposed to do? ADs, you're thinking about this week and everything that's going to be going on. Your phone is probably lighting up. Everybody wants a ticket. Everybody wants to be on the sideline. All those things. But aren't you glad you're here today? Because that's a good sign. So thank you for being here and making the sacrifice. To the coaches we just met, congratulations. It's wonderful to be regional champs. It's wonderful to be playing in a state championship, because that means that many of those goals that you set they come to a reality because you're going to play for a state championship. So that's a great thing. So I commend you. But before I get into just some other things, I want to echo what James said. Thank you to the people who helped make this day possible. We couldn't do this without the City of Raleigh, Scott Dupree and the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance. We couldn't do it without Hill Cara. We couldn't do it without all of those people that James just mentioned. The host institutions, UNC, Chapel Hill, Wake Forest University, Duke University, NC State. We couldn't do it without the public high schools, those schools who help us. We have Jordan, we have Reagan High School in Winston, we have Voyager Academy, we have Northern Durham over in Durham. We thank you for helping us make these championships special. And we thank you because many of you are here today to just be a part of this day because it is special. I want to thank NC State for hosting us. I want to thank their staff for being available to be here today. I want to thank several other staff members who are here from the other institutions. Thank you for being here with us. And we certainly do miss Riley. He's always here smiling because he loves being here representing the Carolina Panthers. So we appreciate his comments. Well, to my staff, thank you. Thank you for putting this together. Thanks, James, for pulling all of the data, the stats, all of that stuff that you media folk love. He does a lot with making sure you have what you need. And then we depend on you getting it out to everybody who needs it. And then our staff for these last week and this week are tough weeks for us, but last week especially. We had our board of directors in town, and it's been tough. And we're playing one man down. Trey Waters is usually here with us. His mom is ill, very ill. So we would ask that you would remember him in a special way. She's at UNC and not doing well, but I'm a believer that prayer changes things. So those of you who do believe, please pray. Now, to our football coaches who just navigated a regional championship. Congratulations again. We thank you for the commitment, for the dedication, the sacrifice, everything that you do to help those young men and those young women who are part of your program. We thank you. We have several defending champions here, and that's always a good thing, to have those who've been able to navigate the waters, take the best shots from everybody you've played, and here you are again. We have some newbies, first time around, first time you've ever played for a state championship. And so this is new water. You're treading new water this week, but it will be fun. And then for those of you who maybe you've been to a state championship before, but you didn't quite do what you wanted to do, you get another chance. And so we welcome all of you here. I would just encourage you to enjoy this week. We have 418 high schools. Now, not all of them play football, but U16 are still standing after a season of heat, a lot of overtime, a lot of injuries, a lot of everything that happens when you're the head coach, but you're still standing. And so that is commendable. The young people you work with on a daily basis, they need you as the example. We're living in a time now where role models seem to be iffy, suspect at best. And so for you in this room, I just encourage you to continue to role model the expectations that we so desperately need, not just in the schools, but that we need in society, that we need in this country. And you have a unique opportunity to make a difference. Now I want to give you some tips, which is what I usually try to do. First of all, have some fun. You know, it's been a long season. August 1st, thereabouts, and here you are still doing football. Now football is it's a collision sport. And so here you are still participating in this collision sport after all the knocks and the bruises. So have some fun this week. I would encourage you to review everything that you've tried to teach since August 1. I would encourage you or suggest, of course I'm not the head coach, I would refrain from a lot of new stuff. You just want to review what you've been doing and make sure that they can do that. Don't worry about what the other team is going to do. If you can't do what you do, the other team will have a field day. So review and take care of what it is you do best. Because your kids are going to be too excited to learn anything new anyway. So review. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You know that's what it's all about. Same way you get down in the three-point stance is the same way you've been doing it all season long. Same way they're supposed to block, that's what they have to do. So repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Try to stay healthy. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything that's you think might cause someone to have an injury or a recurrence of an injury. Stay out of the weeds, coaches, head coaches. Stay out of the weeds. What do I mean by that? Let your AD handle all that stuff. You're going to have people wanting to interview you. You're going to have people, as I said earlier, think that you have all the tickets, that you have all the parking passes. They think that you can get them on the sideline. Send them to your AD. Don't mess with that stuff. You stay out of the weeds and deal with your team. Remember, you cannot change the direction of the wind. And the wind's going to blow this week. Not just physical winds that we know about, but winds are going to blow from your administration, from one of your kids are going to have an UBI, an out-of-body experience, that's what I call those. You're going to be dealing with those kinds of winds. You can't change that direction. You just adjust your sail and keep on sailing. Adjust the sail. You can't change the direction of the wind. You just adjust the sail. And then remember to have fun. So you want to bookend all of that with the fun. And then the last thing that I would just encourage you, and this is really a challenge, do what you do best, coaches. You coach, you don't officiate. So do what you do best come Saturday. coach. Let the officials do their thing. You're not going to agree with them all. And probably, if the truth be known, when they're out there and they get in the hole, they may say, wonder why he put that kid in. They're probably wondering what you're doing. But you just coach and leave the officiating to somebody else. And then my final challenge to you is this. You know, for several years, we've talked about we talk about sportsmanship all the time. But one of our taglines or our initiative has been sportsmanship together we make the right call. So we've added a tagline this year, and that's called respect the game. Respect the game. This is, yes, you're going to play football on Saturday, but it's really bigger than that. It's about life. And so whatever you do Saturday, encourage your young people to just enjoy the moment, be a great sport. It's okay to help somebody up after you've knocked them flat. It's all right to give them a hand. It's okay to pat somebody on the back if they make a great play. Respect the game. I would hope, and this is my challenge, no ejections, no DQs coming out of Saturday. Because when that happens, it means that someone has been relegated to the bench and no longer able to participate in the actual game itself. So those are my tips. Those are my words of encouragement. And again, I thank you for what you do. I don't want you to ever take it for granted. I've been where you are, not playing for a state championship, but I've been where you are in terms of all the things they have to do. Washing uniforms, making sure they're ready. Do I have a bus? Are the officials here? Do they have their uniforms with them? You don't want to be like the Kansas City Chiefs there. Don't send your uniforms one place and you go a different place. So make sure where you're going on Saturday so all the stuff gets to the same place. But just enjoy what this week will offer to you. And again, congratulations, and let's have a great week, and then good luck on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tucker, and again, we do echo those sentiments to respect the game for sure, and administrators, athletic directors, and media folks, we ask your help to get that information and that message of respecting the game to the fans that will be in attendance on Saturday as well, because it takes all of us, like we talked about. Together we make the right call. It takes all of us to make a successful and memorable championship experience. And now we're going to move into the informational part of the press conference and get you ready for your breakout sessions for each of the individual sites. Again, we've got 4 outstanding facilities here at NC State, over at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Duke University, and Wake Forest. Those are the 4 sites. Game day administrators from the NCHSAA staff at each of those sites. I'll just tell you who those are. Trey Waters is scheduled to be at UNC for Saturday as the game day administrator. Mark Dreibelbus will be the game day administrator here at NC State. Brad Alford will be at Duke University, and Shaquana Dancy will be the game day administrator for the NCHSAA staff at Wake Forest. If you need something in one of those facilities, those are the people who are in charge from our end of things in each facility. The Eastern Regional Champions, you will be the away team, which means you will wear the white jerseys. East, you are away, means you are wearing the white jerseys. Western Regional Champions, you're the home team, which means that you will be wearing your dark jerseys. So Western Regional Champions, home team, dark jerseys. We do not allow switching of jerseys, so don't bother asking. The game day administrators are not going to let that happen, so make sure you've got the right jerseys for Saturday. Admission and parking, pre-sale tickets are $14 each. 1,000 tickets will be given to each school for you to pre-sell. You got those when you came in. So 1,000 pre-sale tickets, $14 a piece. Leftover tickets, you need to make sure you bring them back with you, and the check for the pre-sale tickets, you bring that with you this weekend as well. Online tickets are also available. They're $15 plus a service fee. Online is only available through GoFan, which is the links to those pre-sales for online tickets are available through the NCHSAA website. If you walk up to the gate, you want to buy tickets, $15 a piece. Children 5 and under are admitted free. Everybody else, it's $15 at the gate. You're welcome to bring that. NCHSAA passes, our Coaches Association coaches passes will be honored, and those admit the card holder only, not an entire family, so keep that in mind, and there is no re-entry on Saturday either. So once you buy your ticket, you're in until you decide to leave or you have to buy another ticket. $10 parking fee will be the cost at all of the facilities as well. On Saturday, at each of the 8 sites, we'll have a winner and we'll have a loser. Unfortunately, that's part of it in the playoffs. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, but we will have an award ceremony at the end of each game. And each team must be involved in that award ceremony. So again, we ask you to respect the game. We know it's difficult. You just lost a heartbreaking game, but you got to get your young men. They did great things all year. Pick them back up and get them involved, because it's a memorable moment even to finish as a runner-up in a state championship. You want 16 teams left playing, so make sure you keep their heads up, and both teams will participate in the award ceremony. And for the winners, we ask you to respect the game too. The opponents on the other side just lost a hard game. Be respectful. And so we do ask you to do that. So each team will participate. We'll give a state championship plaque. We'll give a state runner-up plaque. We'll give medals to each team. And then the Carolina Panthers help us out as they award an outstanding offensive player from each team and an outstanding defensive player from each team, and then an overall game MVP. Those are voted on by the media members here covering each of the games and tallied at the end of the game. And we'll make those announcements and present those awards as the day goes on. So here today in the breakout sessions, they'll be right here on the first floor, and the NC State will help us, staff will help us facilitate these. So NC State University, so the 3A and 3AA games will be all the way down at the end of the facility there on that end for NC State 3A, 3AA for that. And then the UNC games, which is 4A, 4AA, you'll be just inside of them on that facility, on that side, with those table areas down there. And then Wake Forest and Duke, you'll be on this end. So Wake Forest, 2A games, closest to me, and then Duke, 1A and 1AA all the way down on the end. Media will have our own breakout sitting right here. Okay. Adina.
Yeah, so we have breakout rooms.
You do have breakout rooms upstairs. Okay, well that's good to know.
So anyone in Raleigh and NC State will be in the Chancellor Suite on the 3rd floor.
All right.
Anyone at Carolina will be in the press room, 3rd floor. Duke will be in the Wolves Den, 3rd floor. And Wake Forest will be in the Foundation Suite, 3rd floor. So everyone's going to go upstairs so you guys can prepare for all your stuff down here.
So I stand corrected. I remember last year we didn't have those facilities available, and that's what it was. So anyway, so Chancellor's Suite is the 3A games. That's right here. 3A, 3AA will go there. The Foundation Suite will have Wake Forest, 2A, 2AA. The Wolves Den is Duke. So 1A, 1AA will go there. And then the press box, which is up on the 3rd floor, take the elevators right here and go up to the 3rd floor. The press box is right as soon as you get out there. And that will have the 4A and 4AA games. So you go ahead and make your way to that. Coaches, got to remind you that you do have interviews with Sinclair Broadcasting. Sinclair Broadcasting is set up down here at the 2 camera sites down on to my left, your right. Your times are on the agenda that you were handed when you came in. Make sure you're there for your interview times. And I'll also be distributing a sheet of other interview requests to you. Just check those off as you go, and once you've checked off all the interview requests for today, you guys will be done. Congratulations, and go ahead and head on up to your breakouts. Media, stay right here, and we'll have a media breakout right here.